Hi there, it's Monday again, Monday the 12th of February. It's time for our weekly crafting fix. Let me just check that we're all set up and working. Let's have a look. There we go. So, here we are again. So, what news, what news? Well, it's half term this week, isn't it? Yeah, my son's on holiday this week, although we're not doing anything much, but we do have Pancake Tuesday tomorrow, so looking forward to that. And then of course there's Valentine's Day on Wednesday. Don't know if anybody's got any romantic plans or expecting any romantic surprises. I expect we'll have a low-key family evening in on Wednesday night. But yeah, one thing I wanted to show you was hi Doreen, good to see you, welcome. What I wanted to show you was on this morning, I got a really nice surprise in the post. I got this card, look at that. Anne Lumsden, Anne's not on here yet, sent me this because last Monday was my 5th year as a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Isn't it a gorgeous card? I love how she's highlighted the die with some markers and stuff. It's really, really cool. Hi Fran, good to have you with us. What time is it there in the States right now then? Is it late? Is it early? It's 8 o'clock in the evening here. You are officially our furthest away right now. But yes, so thank you very much, Anne, for this. I was really, really chuffed. It's always nice to get a card in the post, so I was really, really pleased. But it reminds me that, as I mentioned last week, 3 p.m. in the afternoon, that's not bad. That's very civilised, Fran. Welcome. So yes, for the month of February, because it's my 5th anniversary as a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I'll be offering 5% off any orders placed during the month. So in order to avail of that, don't go, hi Anne, I just showed your card. Did you see it? There you go. Yay. Thank you so much. It was fantastic. It's such a lovely surprise. It's gorgeous and so thoughtful of you. Thank you very, very much. I shall post a picture of this later. It arrived this morning. So yes, if you want to place your order with me this month, then instead of going straight to my online store, just email me your order and that way I can put it through for you without you having to pay. So you get your 5% discount. But this week, thank you Anne, I definitely did. It's always nice to get a card, right? And I love the little, I love these, the little squiggles and confetti type things. They're gorgeous and the colour is beautiful as well. And you've done a nice Z-fold card, which is cool. Which reminds me of another thing, which is thank you to those of you who gave me some feedback on the... Hi Lynn, good to see you. Who gave me some feedback on the post that I posted up last week asking for the kinds of things that you'd like me to show you. So we got a request for some brush shows. So next week I'll be having a play with the brushos to make some projects. We had a request for some colouring with the Stampin' blends, so I shall do that. And we had a request for some folds, card folds. So I shared with you a video that I made, probably last year. It's a really, really simple folds, and the Z fold card that I just showed you of Anne's, the Z fold was one of them. But I will do another video which has got some slightly more advanced... Hi Louise, good to have you. Hope you're feeling okay. So yes, I'll be doing some slightly more advanced folds for that one. So if there's a particular fold that you're interested in, then just leave me a comment and I'll see if I can figure it out and add it to the video. So yes, for this week's cards, because Wednesday is Valentine's Day, these are the cards from last week's class. They're all kind of love themed, but you know, we make 4 cards at a class and who needs 4 Valentine's cards really when we're grown-ups. So I've created cards that while they can be used for Valentine's Day, they can be just with a change of greeting or whatever, they can be used for all sorts of occasions. But the stamp set that we're mainly using is the Heart Happiness. Good stuff, Louise, I'm glad to hear it. Take care of yourself. I've got a bit of a cold myself, actually. So yes, we're going to use the Heart Happiness stamp set, which, you know, I don't normally go for stamp sets that don't have a sentiment in them, but I think this is great because you can always use hearts, always, on all sorts of cards. So let's get stuck in. The first card we're going to start with is this one, which I really, I've got a bit of sticky on there. Okay, so this is a really, really simple one. But I've just realised I haven't got my card base. 1 second. Just cut one. And I've got one here. Yeah. Here we are. There's always something missing. So what I've done is I've just cut a A4 piece of cardstock in half the long way. So I do this tent fold, which I really, really like. So we'll just... You love Mum's Stampin'? It's cool, isn't it? Thanks, Louise. Yeah, you'll have to... If she might let you use it if you let her use your heat gun. That sounds like a good deal, doesn't it? Right, so what we've got is we've got a layer of Island Indigo, and we've got another layer of Whisper White, and then I've got a scrap of Whisper White. Okay, in fact I've got two. Now, as usual, I'll post all the dimensions and supplies onto my blog rather than trying to remember what they are now. Okay, so I'm going to bring in, put these aside, I'm going to take in my scrap and my white panel, and the inks I'm using are Island Indigo, Lemon Lime Twist, and Smoky Slate. So the first thing I'm going to do is take this. I love this stripy heart. I think it's just fantastic. So we're just going to pop that on a block. There we go. That sounds like a crafty day for the two of you, Doreen. Absolutely. Right. I'm going to give this a good inking. And we're just going to, got some on my thumb. We're just going to stamp that on our scrap. Like so. Okay, I'm going to put that to one side. I'm going to bring in our main piece. Okay, and what we're going to do then is we're going to take this one here, which is just the various hearts. Okay, you can see this one's been well used, right? And we're just going to stamp randomly our hearts, like so. And I'm going to leave a gap because I want to intersperse it with some grey. Okay, like so. I'll clean that off. Sounds like fun, Doreen. I'm sure you two will have a great time. It's nothing like crafting with friends and family. Right, so let's just, there we go. So I want them to kind of mix together, like so. There we are, and then one here. Okay. Oh, I've done a bit of a, caught the ink there, but that's all right. It'll be fine. All right, and now we're going to take our heart, and we're just going to cut this out. And I'm leaving a small white border around the edge. You may. Play nice, ladies. I love heat embossing. In fact, we're going to do a little bit later on. It's just magic. And in fact, at last week's class, we had a lady come along who'd never really done stamping before. And we were saysaying, you know, she was asking what's heat embossing. We were explaining it to her, and we were saying how wow it was. So she was joking, you know, you'll tell me when I need to say wow. And then as it happened, she just automatically just a wow slipped out because she was genuinely amazed. I love that magic moment when that heat embossing starts to go. Now, for the greeting, we're going to use another one of my favourite sets, which is the Happy Birthday Gorgeous. So this one here, I've used, it is magic, Fran, it is. So I've used I Love You on here, but for this one I'm going to do It's Your Day. Okay, so let's see if I can find it. Here it is. And I'm going to stamp that in Island Indigo. Okay. I'll even try and get it straight. Let's see. Yeah, that's fine. And I'm just going to trim the ends with my triple banner punch. like so. And then we'll just trim that bit off. Yeah, okay, so we can clear some of this away. So we're done with our stamping. Yeah, Lynn, we're all the same. It is magic, like I said. So I think maybe I'll have to do the heat embossing card next after all that. Okay, so let's put that aside. Excuse me. Right, now we're ready to assemble. So first thing I want to do is I just want to wiggle my banner a little bit so that we get a little bit of dimension. Okay, and then we're going to add some of this lemon lime twist ombre ribbon. It's really pretty. Okay, so we're just going to cut a length of that, get a bit of snail, and we're going to just put a little bit across the center behind where our heart is going to go. Okay, and then just zigzag it back and forth. I think this is a really nice way to add a ribbon detail to our cards without having to fiddle about with bows and knots and things. And it also works on on more masculine cards because it's not a bow. There we go. Okay, and then I'm going to get some dimensionals. Pop them on. And then just pop the heart over the top, like so. Okay, and then we'll take our banner, and what I'm going to do is just put a little bit of snail along the middle, like here, and then just stick it down on our heart. Okay, and then take our glue, get one that's got some glue in it, maybe even. Gunk on there. Okay. There we are, and then we're going to pop that onto the... Thanks, Anne. I really like the Island Indigo. It's one of those colours, right, that's there, and I love it, but I just never seem to bring it out. And I love the lemon lime twist, really makes it pop. So I thought this would make a nice, it's not too girly a card, it's kind of masculine, but without being dark like masculine cards often are. So, here we go. And then I'm just going to take a gem, put it on there, because we could all do with a bit of bling. Alright, and there we go. So, I had a little bit of a boo-boo up there, but hey-ho, what can we do? So that's card number 1. Right. So now, after all that talk of heat embossing, let's do the next card, shall we? So the next card is this one here. And I just wanted to show that, like that, you know, it doesn't have to be an I love you card. And actually, when I did this one, with the colours and everything, I actually thought it made it look like a really nice baby card. So I've decided to do it in blue. So I've got a girl one and a boy one. Right, so we've got our blue card base and our white panel, which we'll put to one side for a moment. We're going to do our heat embossing on here. So what we're going to need is this outline heart image. Okay, and then I'm going to take the sentiment from my new favourite stamp set, and I'm going to take the congratulations. This is from the Petal palette. Those regular viewers amongst you will have seen this one come out a few times over the last few weeks. I've been really enjoying it. Right, let's pop that on there. Okay, so we've got our stamps, and now let's bring in our heat embossing. Okay, so we've got our all-important embossing buddy, our ink, and our embossing powder. Oh, there we go. That's it. And then we'll stamp our heart. Tanya, you made it. Excellent. Welcome. You're just about in time for the magic, which is heat embossing, which we've just been discussing. So you came at just the right time. So there we go. There's our heart. And then I'll ink up the congratulations at the same time. So Tanya, these are the cards that we made at the class last week. There we go. Okay. So then we take our white embossing powder. And we just spread it on there nice and liberally, okay, and then tap it off, and there we go. Let's put that one side, put the embossing powder back into the jar so it doesn't go everywhere. There we are, and then we grab our embossing tool. Right, excuse the noise for a moment. Don't worry, Tanya, you'll get the idea from this. Here we go. Can you see the magic happening? Oohs and ahs, please, ladies. Wow. This is the moment we all love, when the powder turns. Careful I don't burn my fingers. There we go. Look at that. Perfect. Thanks, Tanya. Well done. Right, there we go. And this card is pretty much done now. I'm just going to clear some of this away. So we're going to put some glue on the back of the crumb cake piece. Okay. Now your cardstock will warp a little bit when you heat emboss. So, oh, we got a wow. Well done. So we're just going to... Another one, yay! Good. Right, let's flatten that down. There we go. And then we're going to take, so I've got a soft sky base. I'm just going to fold that in half. Lose the dimensional backing. They get everywhere, don't they? Absolutely. I keep finding them on the stairs. They must get on my shoe and then come off as I go upstairs. Oh, then thank you. Right, so now we've got our ribbon that matches, which again, as you all know from Stampin' Up, this is one of the great things about it, is that it all matches nicely. Now, I'm going to show you a little cheat for doing your bows on your cards, okay? So what we're going to do, because I know for lots of people, bows are a real hassle and a real headache. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're just going to thread that across top. So you'll see I've just put a little bit of pearls, yeah, same, rhinestones, the whole thing, glitter. Right, so there we go. I'm going to trim that off. Okay, and then all we need to do is take the piece that I've cut off, slide it in behind, like so, and just tie a knot. Just a regular old granny knot, nothing special. Okay, pull it tight and look at that. Then you just need to trim the ends, make them neat. And there you've got a super looking bow without all the fiddling. Perfect cheat, that one. Okay, so then all we do is just a bit more glue on the back, like so, and then down onto the blue card base. And there we go. Easy peasy, this one. So what do you think, ladies? Pink or blue? I also think this would look really nice actually with a black background and some black ribbon. I think it'd make a nice wedding card for that. But that's the thing, is that, you know, hearts aren't just for Valentine's Day, are they? They're for all year round. So let me just clear some of this away. So that's card number 2. Blue, Anne. Yeah, the blue is nice. They're both pretty. Thank you, Fran. I guess it would depend if you were sending for a boy or a girl. Berry burst, Tanya. Yes, what a great idea. Thanks, Lynn. Blue. I knew what you meant, Anne. I knew what you meant. Right. Thanks, Doreen. Right, so what we're going to do next, let's see. Let's try another kind of male type card. You have one each, Fran. Right, there we go. So this one is using the same stripy heart that we used before, but it's just a bit slightly more masculine and more traditional sort of Valentine's colour scheme, if you will. So we start with a red card base. Okay. We can put that to one side, and we've got our little black layer, so we can put that to one side. We're going to do our stamping. Okay. We also need a scrap. So we're also going to use this little stamp here, the little stripy heart. So we're going to stamp the big heart in red. So let me just make sure that that's clean. Let's do it this way. Okay, and then we're going to stamp the small heart in black. Make sure it's properly inked. I'm just using my Memento ink for this. I'm going to stamp that down there in the corner. Now, there is a coordinating die set that I could use to cut out this heart. But to be honest, by the time I've brought the big shot over and run it through, it's just as quick to cut it. So it's exactly what I'm going to do. So the red is still a bit juicy, so I'm going to leave that for a second. Okay, and just again, leaving a small white border around the edge. I do like the dies that go with this, and they're great for cutting out apertures and things like that. But in terms of fussy cutting, you know, a heart is a reasonably easy shape to cut, so I don't mind too much. There we go. Okay, just trim that corner a little. There we go, and now we'll do our red. I'm going to trim this one quite close because I see that on one side I've stamped it quite close to the edge, so. Can you see that? Am I in shot? Yes, I am. Here we go. I think we had the discussion last week. Who here likes fussy cutting? I am not a fan. But I seem to have been doing a lot of it lately. I don't know what's going on. Right, there we go. Clear those away. And then we'll take back in our white panel and our smoky slate ink pad and our stamp set. Let's give it a quick clean. Go. And we're just going to stamp down in the bottom left hand corner. Okay, and I'm going to stamp off a little bit. There we go, I think that should do it. But the thing to do, you bought a scan and cut. Oh, wow, Fran. Very extravagant, you lucky thing. Right, so I'm just going to place my hearts down to make sure that I've got what I want. So I actually want a little one right here. There we go. Okay. Then I'm going to stamp my greeting. So again, on this one, it's I love you. But for this one, I'm going to use the same Christmas gift. Santa was good to you this year. You must have been a good girl. Right, so I'm going to use the It's Your Day again, like I did on the other one. So it's not I love you like this one. So let's bring in the Memento. Good inking, and then down to the bottom right corner we want it. Okay, there we go. Right, now we're ready to assemble. Let's move this out of the way. So first thing is to put the ribbon on. So we've got the gorgeous black shimmer ribbon. I love this ribbon. It's just beautiful. Don't know if you can see it, but look at that gorgeous shimmer in it. Isn't it fabulous? Beautiful. Right, so same as we did on the card before, we're just going to put a little bit of snail on either side of where we think we want it. And then we're just going to line it up and see, is that where I want it? Let's have a look. Yep, that looks about right. Got another thingy up there. Right, now because I've got a smush up there, I am going to spritz. So bear with me 1 second. That's not the one. I want my red, which is this one. Yep. So, to spritz, take your marker, brush end, cover the area, and then just flick the brush against the tip, the inside of the lid, to get you some spritzing. There we go. There we are. So it's a great way to kind of cover up little boo-boos and things on your card. Because, you know, these things happen. There we are. And in fact, in the class, we did talk about whether this card needed a bit of spritzing. So there you go. We'll try it out. All right, so we'll adhere the big heart in the same way as we did on the last card. Like so. Okay. And then for this one, what I'm going to do, I'm going to use one of my mini. Because I want it to overlap here, okay, I'm only going to put a dimensional on this side. And unless you're doing it all the time, it doesn't damage the tips. It's absolutely fine. I wouldn't worry. I've been doing it on mine for a long time now, and we do it at classes, and the tips are absolutely fine. So, I'm going to take a glue dot. Okay. And I'm going to put the glue dot on the other side here. And what that means then is that they're at the same level. Okay, because if I put a dimensional on this one, it would be wonky. That's the technical term, ladies. And there we go. Okay, and then I'm going to take one of my black rhinestones. These are retired, so I managed to stock up on these before they disappeared. They were in the autumn winter catalogue. But what you can do is you can take a black Sharpie marker and just colour in your regular rhinestones, and it'll give you the same effect, which is really cool. But it has to be an alcohol marker, otherwise it won't dry. There we go. Okay. So then we just... You're welcome, Fran. It's what I'm here for. Helpful tips and advice. There we go. Okay, so then we just layer that onto our black. I love red, white and black together. Such a classy combination. Okay. And then again, just straight glue down onto the red card base. There, and there we have it. So what do you like? The spritzed or the not spritzed? Which is your favourite? Let me know. Okay, while I get ready for the next card. Okay. So the next card, we're going to, I need this, we're going to do a bit of colouring on. So let's just move it to the next card. Yeah, men's cards are always difficult, Lynn. What I would say is, when it comes to men's cards, unless you want to go with the, you know, fishing or cars or airplanes or football or golf, which is the normal things. I mean, if they're into those things, it's great, but if they're not, then you're kind of at a bit of a loss. Then something really simple and striking with a really bold colour scheme works really, really well. Or, you know, pick something where you've just got a really big sentiment, and that kind of handles the card for you. Sometimes it's easy, you look at stamp sets and you're looking for a men's stamp set, but actually you can use any sort of sentiment. Spritzed, yeah, I like the spritzed. So for example, if you look at our, where is it? I'll just get it now, hang on. Where is it? This one. So yeah, look carefully at your stamp sets, because you look at this stamp set, which is Perennial Birthday, right? It's girly, 100%, right? But look at this, Happy Birthday. That's quite a masculine font there. And this one too. So if you look at where I've done it on this card, which has got the brusho background, that doesn't look girly at all. So look carefully at your sentiments. And it's usually the images that are a bit difficult with men's cards, and that's where good patterns or a good paper behind it is really, really good and really, really helps. But yeah, I know. But Father's Day is coming up in June, so I will be doing some men's cards over the next little while. So keep your eyes open. Right, this last card is this one, which I've used to make just a regular happy birthday card. And I think it looks really, really good. Now, I have to share a little secret with you on this one. Is when I was cutting the cardstock for the class, I realised that I didn't have enough Whisper White cardstock. I'd run out. So I'm going to do this one in Very Vanilla. And actually, I think the Very Vanilla works better than the Whisper White. So you can let me know what you think when we're done. So we've got a Very Vanilla card base. Excuse me, I'm sniffing a lot. I do apologise. And then we have an old olive layer and a Very Vanilla layer. We're going to put those to one side. We're going to do the stamp first. Okay, so we've got this gorgeous large stamp image in the set. Okay, and I'm going to stamp that using my Memento ink because I'm going to use my blends to colour this. Now, because the images on this are quite small and you're not going to really be doing much blending as such on it, then I would say you could use anything on here. You could use regular markers, you could use your watercolour pencils, you could even watercolour if you wanted, but if you're going to watercolour, then don't use the Memento ink, use the black archival ink, otherwise it'll run. Okay, so there we go, and yeah, and I think it does, Right, so let's bring in our markers. So let's start with the green. Okay, we'll just, with these things, I like to just colour in all the leaves first, and then I kind of know where I am. Now remember with your blends that they will continue to blend into the paper and expand as you colour. So don't, and this is particularly with, you know, small images like this, with fine lines, don't go all the way to the edges. Just put it, you can see I'm just putting a little bit in, okay, and if I want to expand it, I can go back to it later. But the other thing is that when you're colouring, it is good to leave a little bit of white space, or in this case, cream space, behind. It gives it a nice effect, okay. So I think I've got all the leaves there. And I went with a very light kind of colour scheme in the last one, but for this one I'm going to do something a little bit more intense. So I'm going to do some rich raspberry on the big flowers. Vanilla. I think that was the general consensus at the class actually on Wednesday, is that we all preferred the vanilla. It just works with the colours a little bit better. Okay, so you can see I'm not going all the way out to the edges. I can come back and do a bit more later if I want to. So now I'm going to use a little bit of, this is the cherry cobbler, but it's the light one, so it looks kind of like the red. And you can see that what I'm doing is I'm actually dotting the colour on rather than actually colouring it in. We'll add a little red one in there. There's one there. And then let's do a Bermuda Bay here in the center. And we do one over here. So it was really nice at the class when the ladies were working on this, and like that everybody just chose slightly different color schemes for theirs, and they all worked out beautifully. It was really fun. That's one of the things I like most about a class, is that like that, you know, you all start with the same basic idea, the same materials, but what actually turns out at the end, everybody's is individual and slightly different, and that's kind of the beauty of a handmade card, isn't it? Is that it's a one-off, it's unique. Okay, all right. So now, can you guess what I'm going to do next? What does this need? Wink of Stella. So when you're going over your blend, what you've coloured with your Wink of Stella, do be careful, because the pen will reactivate the ink and it will start to spread again. So just be careful that you make sure not to transfer the colours from one to the other. Okay, so do all one colour together, if that makes sense. So I don't want my red going into my yellow, or my Bermuda Bay going into my purple. Okay, there we go. Now, this one I am going to cut using the Big Shot, because I found that this one, because it's the focal point of the card, I want it to be a neat cut. So let me bring in the Big Shot. There we go, and we'll get the heart. Oops. So here we go. Let's just, I think it's this one. Yep, that's the one. Okay, so we just lay the die down over our image. Line it up where we want it. You could secure it with a little bit of washi tape if you wanted, but shouldn't be necessary. Just roll it through. And there we have it. Look at that. Ooh, I really like the colours in that. They turned out well. Alright. Now, excuse me, let's bring back in our main piece. So we'll just lay our heart down there, and we'll come back to our, again, the Happy Birthday, gorgeous stamp set. I love the Happy Birthday in this, absolutely love it. I mean, there's lots of other stuff in there as well, it's great, but particularly the Happy Birthday sentiment. Okay, and we're going to stamp that using Old Olive. Okay, so we're just going to place our heart like so, just to give us a guide as to where we want our... Hi Linda! Yes, it is a lovely font. It's beautiful. There we go. Alright, so for this one, I had originally planned pink at the back, but I think this needs a different colour. So bear with me 1 second. I'm going to use... I'm going to use my Fresh Fig instead. So again, just like the other cards we did earlier, just put a little bit of snail at the back of where your heart is going to go. Okay, and then we're just going to wind it, just layer it across like so, like so. And then just put that on top, see if that's, yep, that's enough. We'll just trim the end off. There we go. Alright, so then it's just dimensionals on the back, not my big ones. Here we have it. So we bring back in our pieces. So then it's just simply a case of glue around the edges. Ooh, I'm running low on this one. This one's nearly finished. Alright. There we have it. Thanks, Linda. I'm really pleased with how this one's turning out, actually, because it's quite different to the original. I'll show you in a second. Right, and then again, just glue onto the front there. Look at that. Ooh, got some hearts and some thumbs up for that one. Thanks, ladies. There we go. So here we have the original, and we have this one. And I think definitely I much prefer this one to the white one. So there we go. Let me just clear a bit of space. I'm going to bring in the other cards that we've made. So, like I said, we've used the same stamp set on every single one of these cards, which is the Heart Happiness set. And then we've just added sentiments from one or two other sets. This one, and yeah. We've added sentiments from one or two other sets. And we've got quite a wide range of cards. So we've got our Happy Birthday. We've got our I Love You, okay? And bear in mind that I Love You doesn't have to be for Valentine's Day. I deliberately didn't put Valentine's Day, Happy Valentine's Day on any of these, because, you know, you don't need to wait till Valentine's Day to tell somebody you love them. And then we had this one here. Don't know if you can see all of these cards, okay? So which is sort of like the more masculine look. And then we had this one, which I thought looked like a, kind of like a baby card. So there we go. Yeah, I agree. The vanilla is definitely better than the white. And there you go. There's a happy accident, isn't it? I was going to make the card in white. Didn't have enough cardstock, so I had to change it to vanilla. And what do you know? It looks better. So, as I say, happy accident. Crafting is full of them. So, of the 4 cards, ladies, which one is your favourite? Let's have a look. Let's have a vote. Who have we got? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you can't see them. Hang on. Let me move up a little. Here we go. Can you see them all now? I've got a bit of a time delay. So, there we go. There we go. So let's have your votes. So there we have it for another week. Thank you for joining me. I hope you all have a fantastic, thank you, Linda. I hope you all have a fantastic Valentine's Day, whatever you do. These two, Lou, yeah. All of them. Thank you. Yes, I hope you all have a fantastic Valentine's Day, however you choose to spend it. And I hope those of you who do have lots of pancakes tomorrow. I shall be cooking up a storm for my son Rupert and I tomorrow evening to have lots and lots of lovely pancakes. So I shall be feeling a bit stuffed, I'm sure. And I'll be back at the same time again next week for more. Remember, next week we're going to be doing some brush shows. So fingers crossed. Well, not fingers crossed, but it's going to be a bit of an adventure. A brush show always is. So I've got some ideas, but who knows where they'll end up. But yes, thank you anyway. Remember, if you're placing your orders, you get 5% off during February. So email me what you want, and in a couple of days' time, I'll have the links to the blog post with all the dimensions and supplies up. Fran, you love brush show. Well, you got to tune in next week. So thanks again, ladies. Have a good evening. Bye.